Thank you so much for watching today. Today's video, I want to share with you how my experiment went with wearing only neutrals for the second half of the month of January. I had the idea to start this project about midway through January, and I am a huge color lover. I always reach for color in my wardrobe. It's something that I have a lot of, but I thought it would be fun to challenge myself to only wear neutrals for 2 weeks in January. So I want to share my thoughts, my feelings, some of the outfits that I came up with this concept in mind, and I thought it would be a fun little project to make a little bit of an exciting challenge for me in my wardrobe. If you've been to my channel before, you'll know I absolutely adore color. I wear lots of different colors. I love to color block and put color together in unexpected ways. And so going through this experiment of wearing only neutrals was a huge mind shift for me. And I wanted to share some of my thoughts and feelings about how the project went overall. I think we all want to get the most out of our wardrobe. We want it to stretch and make as many outfits and get as much versatility out of our items as possible. So I always find myself thinking of little ways that I can create little challenges or do little different ideas of ways to put clothing together that I can look at my wardrobe in a different way. And that's part of how I come up with putting things together in a different way that I may not have thought of before. So wearing all neutrals was a huge jump for me. After many days of wearing neutrals, I wanted to share some of the thoughts and feelings I have. I just made some notes here. So let's go ahead and get into the pros, cons, and what I learned about this wearing only neutrals for 2 weeks project. The first obvious pro was it eliminated so many options from my closet and what to choose to get dressed every day. So it was much easier to get dressed. I had way less to choose from after eliminating all of the color and patterns and prints with color in them. I still had plenty of options, but it was much faster to get dressed as I started going through my closet and pulling neutral items to create my outfits. The next pro for me was also realizing that even after I cut out all of the items that I could not wear during this project, I still had so many options available between choosing from items that were black, cream, white, gray, neutrals in animal print, brown, tan. I had so many options available even though I wasn't using color throughout this project. So that was a nice little discovery that I do have plenty of neutrals in my wardrobe. I have thought from time to time that maybe I have a little bit of a gap, but again, one of the great things that I learned throughout this project was I have plenty in my wardrobe that are neutrals that can go with several different things in my wardrobe that mix and match, that I can put together and feel classic and chic and all of those things that we feel when we look at a Pinterest outfit and do our best to recreate that from our own closet. And not that color can't be classy and chic and feel put together, but it just, the neutral palette, it just has something about it that just makes you feel really powerful and classic in the very best way, which leads me to my Pinterest board. I thought that was a huge pro in this project, was I was able to scroll back and get some use out of all those pins that I've put on my Pinterest board all this time. I definitely looked at those for inspiration, and every outfit that I put together throughout this process, I really did feel like it was Pinterest worthy and it looked classic and chic, which I feel was another pro. I knew that by dressing in neutrals, I would always feel really elevated, and it made me feel really good to be dressed in an outfit that I thought was classic and looked really good together, and I felt put together. A definite pro was using what was already in my closet. We all want to make the most of our closets and use and rewear and restyle what we already have. So that is one of the reasons why I love doing projects like this, because it helps me dig in and use what I already have without acquiring anything new. So there were some items that had been sitting in my closet that hadn't gotten to go for a spin lately, and I was able to style up and use those items and put together some really fun outfits. Now, let's get into the cons of the project. So I wanted to keep this as true to a neutral clothing wardrobe or neutral items as I could for this project. So I opted not to use any bags, shoes, accessories, hats, belts, scarves, any of those things to add color. I wanted to keep all of the items neutral so that it would truly give me a full experience of what I was looking for, to have only neutrals to choose from. I did add a few pops of color throughout makeup, such as a bright pink lip or a bold red lip. I also used color incorporated on my nails. I painted my nails a couple of different times to add a little bit of color, and did use a little bit of jewelry as well to add a pop of color here and there. But for the most part, those were the only ways that I added color throughout this project. And everyone may not agree, but to me, animal print is definitely a neutral, as long as it is not hot pink zebra or electric blue leopard. I did use some animal print throughout the project, but it was true animal print in a neutral hue, which I felt was, in my opinion, and for what I had set out for myself as far as guidelines and parameters. One of the other cons that I found throughout this project was it was tough. Even though I still had plenty of items to choose from, wearing only neutrals and looking at all of those other fun, colorful, and print pattern items in my wardrobe that I couldn't reach for, it was kind of a bummer. I would look at those things, and after several days, it was probably about 10 days, I really started counting down the days until the project was going to be over and thinking ahead instead of worrying about planning what I was going to be wearing the next day. I was looking at all my colorful items and trying to decide, what outfit am I going to wear the first day that I'm able to go back to picking colorful items for my wardrobe. The next con I experienced was, those of you who have been to my channel, I am doing a $100 per month budget for this year. And I had purchased some new things that were definitely color, pattern, print, that were brand new, but I wasn't able to wear them because of this project that I had decided to do, which that happens quite often. I will get thinking, or an idea will come to mind, and so that was just a little bit of a bummer for this project, that I wasn't able to wear right away some of the new pieces that I had purchased with my budget in the month of January. Another con for me was I learned I am an emotional dresser, and I love color. There is something to be said for the dopamine dressing. I really believe that color can bring you out of a funk. If you wake up and you're having a little bit of a blasé day, you're not feeling the best, you're having a little bit of a hard time getting going, picking something bright in color, a bright power suit, or a punch of color throughout a scarf, or a bright colored sweater, whatever the choice may be for you that day, I do believe there is definitely something to be said for dopamine dressing, that it brings me joy. Color makes me happy, and I did feel myself feeling a little bit blah throughout the project as it started coming to the last days. I started feeling a little bit bored with not being able to incorporate and choose some color and add some color to my outfits on those days that I definitely would have chosen a more colorful outfit had I not been doing the project. One of the cons of not being able to reach for color is it can elevate my mood. It definitely helps me, it brings me joy, and it can bring me up when I'm having a down day. So not being able to reach for that color in my closet was definitely a little bit of a con throughout this project as well. I think that about wraps it up for the pros and the cons of the project and some of the things that I learned. I definitely gravitated towards black. I normally don't wear a lot of black. I wear it here and there, and I do have quite a bit of it in my wardrobe. That was something that I realized. I have a lot more black than what I realized, and there were a lot of days when I wanted to choose black and thought, oh, I just wore black yesterday. I probably should pick something else. I either wore all black the day before, or I wore a black top or black bottoms. So that was something I learned about myself, was when I don't have as many options, I definitely gravitated towards black, which was a little bit of a shocker for me. The other thing I learned was just how important color is for me. And I know color isn't for everybody. It's definitely a personal preference. And I know not everybody loves color. I know I see video after video and post after post of people that only have neutral wardrobes. And I learned throughout this project, I can never do that. That is not something that would make me happy. I would not feel fulfilled in my wardrobe if I had only neutrals. I do love having neutrals, don't get me wrong, but I definitely could not limit myself to not wearing color, not having any color or different patterns and prints, fun things like that in my wardrobe. It's part of my personality. It is deeply ingrained in who I am. And so that was definitely something that I learned. Probably the most important takeaway for me from this project was how much I really do love color and how much it really can elevate and bring your mood up a little bit if you're having not the best day. I'm going to go ahead and throw some images up here on the screen of some of the outfits that I put together during this neutral project so that you can see what I was able to go through and find in my wardrobe. It was fun. I am glad that I did it. I had a lot of aha moments that really were something that I'm looking for throughout this upcoming year as I use my closet to the best of my ability and try to slow down purchasing so many things. So that was definitely another thing that really helped me. Was I knew that if I had to choose from what I already had, and I'd already spent my budget for the most part by the time I decided to start this project, so that was helpful. And I don't know about you, do you ever do that? You give yourself little challenges, or, oh, I'm gonna wear all faux leather this week, or I'm going to only wear I'm only gonna wear color. Just different things that I like to do that help challenge me to think about my wardrobe in a different way. For those of you who have not been here before, my name is Jessica and I'm a fashion lover. I absolutely adore jumping in my closet, playing around with my clothing. I do love to shop. I've set myself a budget this year, so I'm trying to slow that down, which it is helping. And actually, as we move into February, I have quite a few things on my wish list, but I really don't even have the desire to buy anything because I felt like I got so many new items in January. So it's helping, it's working. The project is working. I'm hoping that as I go throughout this year, that each month I'll have just a little bit less and less of a desire to purchase new things and to find more ways to create different outfit ideas and different projects and ways to continue experimenting and playing around with what I already own. So if that kind of content sounds good to you, I would so love for you to subscribe and give this video a like. I do enjoy making these videos. I appreciate you so much for being here. I know your time is so valuable, and I am so glad that you chose to spend a little bit of it with me today. And until next time, I will see you again soon. I hope you are all happy and healthy, and remember to be kind because it is free. Bye, friends.